Good morning, everyone. In this Inhumanity in Islam series, my first video was on cruelty towards babies. The second one was on cruelty towards children. The third one was cruelty towards women. And I'm doing this one on cruelty towards the old. So, many Muslims say that Islam is so nice to old people and to women. Women we have seen. Now let's witness what kind of good behavior they have towards the old people. So I would share with you. So what about this 120 years old man? Let's see what is behind this. So this is Kitab al-Tabaqat al-Kabir, volume 2, page 31. It says, then occurred the Sariyah, which means raid, of Salim ibn Umar al-Amri against Abu Afaq, the Jew, in the month of Shawwal, in the beginning of the 20th month from the Hijrah, which is the immigration from Mecca to Medina in AD 622 of the Apostle of Allah. Abu Afaq was from Banu Amr ibn Auf. So this man, Abu Afaq, who is a Jew, and he is from Banu Amr ibn Auf, that was his tribe, was an old man who had attained the age of 120 years. So in olden times, people lived for more number of years. The average expectancy of human life has reduced in the current age, but in the ancient times people lived for more number of years, and this old Jewish man had become 120 years old. He was a Jew and used to instigate the people against the apostle of Allah and composed satirical verses about Muhammad. So this Jew man who was 120 years old used to compose some poems, and in which he ridiculed Muhammad. Salim ibn Umar, who was one of the great weepers and who had participated in Badr, said, I take a vow that I shall either kill Abu Afaq or die before him. He waited for an opportunity until a hot night came and Abu Afaq slept in an open place. Salim ibn Umar knew it, so he placed the sword on his liver and pressed it till it reached its bed. The enemy of Allah screamed, and the people who were his followers rushed to him, took him to his house, and interred him. So, this man who is in the gang of Muhammad, called Salim ibn Umar, who had participated in the Battle of Badr, he took a vow that he will kill Abu Afaq. And he, in the night, when the night came, and this man Abu Afaq, who was 120-year-old Jew, he slept in an open place, which Salim Umar knew about it. So he placed a sword on his liver and pressed it till it reached its bed. That means it went through his body, and that old man screamed. Can you imagine so much savagery just for writing a poem? Uh, if in Sanatan Dharma, it is always that even in a battle, a horseman fought with a horseman, a man on his foot would will fight with a man on foot, a man on an elephant will fight a man on an elephant, and people who are verbal should be fought with verbal, uh, similar verbal phrases. If a man is only speaking something nasty about you, you only have a right to speak nasty about him. It's verbal versus verbal. But here, this old man, they did not even think about his age, about they have absolutely no respect for the old, and the brutality of killing that he put his sword and passed it through his body till it reached his bed, meaning it went through his body and touched the bed on the other side. So here we see what kind of respect they have for 120-year-old man. He was not just an ordinary old man, he was such an old man. He should have been respected. Circumcision. Now, once you become a Muslim, you have to get circumcised. So they don't, okay, for children. But what is the need of circumcising an adult grown up man? Let's look at this book. Um, One, it's Hadith 8. It says, it is reported that Al Hassan said, "Are you not astonished by this man, Malik ibn al Mundhir? He went to some of the old people of Kaskar who had become Muslim and examined them, and then commanded that they be circumcised, although it was winter." So, this hadith is a chain of narrations, and it is reporting that Al Hassan said, uh, that are you not astonished by this man, Malik ibn Mundhir? Malik ibn Mundhir is such a cruel man that he went to some of the old people of Kaskar. They were old people, and they were recent convertees to Islam, and they became new Muslims. And he ordered that they should be circumcised, and it was winter. And there are no hospitals then. They used to use crude devices for circumcising people. They did not care whether it was winter and whether these people were old. I heard that some of them died. Can you imagine these old people who are being uh, uh, circumcised in winter when they have no protection with ragged axes and all? That's the tools that they used to use for circumcising. And some of them even died. Greeks and Abyssinians became Muslims with the messenger of Allah. May Allah bless him and grant him peace, and they were not examined at all. These old men were not capable of even having sex. And so you cannot give an apologetic answer that this is for your own for your own health. You cannot say that. Why? Because these are old people. For them, sex doesn't matter. And it was winter, and these people were old. But despite that fact that they were circumcised with crude things, and these things are so shocking. Circumcision with an axe, can you imagine? This is Sahih al-Albani. It's book 1, Hadith 1. Actually, for the English, it is book 53 and Hadith 1244. It says Abu Huraira reported that the Messenger of Allah, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, said, Ibrahim, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, was circumcised when he was 80 years old. So Ibrahim was circumcised when he was 80 years old, and Muhammad knows about this. Because Muhammad is saying, narrating this, that Ibrahim was circumcised when he was 80 years old, and he was circumcised with an axe called kadam. So you can imagine the horror of how you would circumcise an old man who has nothing to do with sex. You would circumcise him with something as crude as an axe. No, this is nowhere near to kindness. On the contrary, it is brutality and sheer fanaticism that you want to circumcise old people who have nothing to do with sex. So you cannot say that it is good for your sexual things or not. You cannot simply make any answer for that. So this is Cruelty beyond imagination. Now let's read about this. Muslim historians report the story of two extraordinary women, Kirfa and her daughter Salma. Kirfa was the leader of Bani Fadara. So this Kirfa is an old woman and she has a daughter called Salma. And she's also the leader of this tribe called Bani Fadara. Zaid, the foster son of Muhammad, raided her tribe. Under her leadership, her men defeated the raiders. So she was not only, these people, Muslims, make a very funny statement saying that Muhammad came and he improved the situation of women. Over here, you see, besides Khadija, you see another example of this woman called Kirfa. She is the tribe leader of Bani Fadara. So you see that she is the tribal leader. And Zayed went and raided her tribe, but she was victorious over Muhammad's gang. Many Muslims were killed, and Zayed himself was wounded. And Zayed is the adopted son of Muhammad. He was wounded. Zayed swore that he would take his revenge. When he recovered, Muhammad sent him back with more force. So Muhammad again sent him back to fight with this old woman. Wow, what a nice respect for old people. He fought the Bani Fazara, killed some of them, and took Kirfa and her beautiful daughter as hostage. So finally, in the second round, he killed some of their tribe people, and he took Kirfa and her daughter hostage. The Sirah of Ibn Ishaq says, now Sirah is the biography of Muhammad. It is a very authentic document besides, Sahih Muslim, Sahih Bukhari. Says Zayed killed Kirfa cruelly. The details of this cruel killing is omitted by Ibn Hisham, who edited Ibn Ishaq's Sirah. So, in some places, like in Ibn Ishaq's Sirah, this cruel killing, they have removed it. There are so many verses which have been removed in Quran as well because they were not to the taste. But what remaining is so awful that you can imagine what removed must have been like. The cruelty and the extent of uh, atrocious things that these people did, barbaric things, must be written in those that they themselves felt it and removed them. Anyways, it is still there in Tabari, and where we can read that Tabari explains that her legs. So this is talking about Kirfa, who is an old woman, and Muhammad's son has tied her legs to two ropes, and each rope was pulled by a camel until she was ripped in two. Can you imagine this way of killing an old woman? Ibn Ishaq says she held a position of honor among her people. As the Arabs used to say, had you been more powerful than Kirfa, you could have done no more. That means she did so much for the tribe and she held a position of honor. So she was an honorable woman who was old and she did a lot of good things for her tribe. That Arabs used to say that if you were in a position as powerful as Kirfa, you could have done no more. So she was a lady, an old lady of honor, and still they killed her brutally by pulling her legs in opposite directions. Such was the courage of this woman that she became a legend among Arabs. And Kirfa's daughter Salma was enslaved. So you can see that these women were so honorable. She was killed in a very, very cruel manner. So now you can say with confidence that Muslims were extremely cruel to old people, whether it was an old man, 120-year-old man, or doing circumcision in winter, for old people who had nothing to do with sex, and for killing old women as well, very, very brutally. Who kills a woman by tearing her apart in two pieces, ripping her apart? Who is so cruel? That's like pure evil himself has come as an avatar. So Muhammad is a avatar of pure evil. I can say that with confidence today. And I think that brings me the end of this uh, video, cruelty towards the old. And now you can know that Islam is has been extremely cruel to old people. They may say whatever they want to, but we have evidence to prove otherwise. So I hope you have a good day, and please like, share, and subscribe to my video. And to support me, please pass this information to at least two more people. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. Bye.